Good afternoon. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It is Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025, 5 p.m. Welcome to our Facilities Committee meeting. Agenda item number 1, call meeting to order, conduct roll call, establish quorum. We have board members to my right, Ms. Dominga Minga Vela, board member and vice president, Ms. Carmen Gonzalez, board member, Ms. Letty Garcia. You have myself, Louis Alamia, to my left, board member and president, Mr. David Torres. We have also our superintendent of schools, Dr. Mario Salinas, and our legal counsel, Mr. Ben Castillo. This establishes a quorum. Number 2, certification of public notice. Dr. Salinas.
I certify that the agenda was posted as per requirements of the Texas Open Meetings Act.
Very good, thank you. Agenda item number 3, update on Canterbury drainage and remediation improvements presented by SDI Engineering. Dr. Garza.
Before I pass it over to Isael, I want to introduce our new Director of Facilities. We have Joe Villarreal. Here, raise your hand, Joe. He's our new Director of Facilities, and I just want to make sure that we get familiar with him because you'll be seeing him around every time.
Welcome, Mr. Villarreal.
Welcome, Joe.
Welcome, sir.
I'm going to pass it over to Isael Posadas to go over item number 3.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. This is an update on the, we're going to do the Canterbury first, sorry. Canterbury Elementary, the remediation improvements. We can tell you we were able to meet the deadline before the commencement of school without much issue. The only one item that was left pending prior to going into the school, into the campus, was an extra, which was the wrapping of the library. And that was also completed about a week and a half ago. So here is that library wrap. I wish I had a few, let me see, I don't have the befores, but this is definitely an improvement over what was there before. We have had nothing but compliments on the design, on the feel of the library, not only from staff, but from some of the parents that we know personally. I think they were happy to see this improvement. As soon as you walk into the campus, there was a new logo in the front as well, so that was welcoming for them. The new floors. I mean, some of the parents expressed to us that it was like being in a new campus. And the principal did a really good job too in preparing the campus before we came in, and the rest of your staff on campus and preparing everything. I think they worked extra hard right prior to restoring or putting back their things in the classrooms. We were able to paint all of the classrooms that had been affected, and then we upgraded and painted a lot of the hallways as well prior to having the students come in. So this is just some of the items that had been left prior to that. As you can see, this is a very nice, very new, very different.
Very nice.
The only problem is the other campuses, once they see this, they're going to be asking for the same thing.
Once they see it, you're going to want it.
And I will tell you, we did this we were able to procure and negotiate with the contractor through buy board and be within a very, within the time frame. The design is usually the tough part. Some of the details around, you got to put these wraps around the corners, around some vents. You got to make sure the characters' heads don't get cut off when they're adjacent to a window or something. So it took at least 3 iterations to get it exactly how we wanted it. But the vendor was very good at his job, at what they do, something that they've been doing in other communities around the valley. And they were responsive to all the adjustments. In some cases, it's because we might have missed something. They came back, rewrapped, redid it. Details, my staff were a little difficult at times because they wanted every detail corrected. I kept getting the calls. You sure you want me to make sure they redo it just because of a nod? I said, yes, let's get them redone. And they were responsive. So, appreciated their help. So from the last time that staff presented, we ended up still with the savings overall. The total budget was $748,854. We met that and exceeded that by having a $50,000 savings at the end. Again, we were able to prepare the school, work around the waxing of the floors that was performed by some of the staff in the unaffected areas. And I'd like to also report that at the end, all the test results came back in a good way for us, everything came back negative. Everything was retested and reaffirmed. So that was very good for us.
When you're done, I have some questions about it. Like,
Yes, sir.
when you're done with the actual presentation.
That was all that was pending, so I know my staff went over it the last time we had a facilities meeting, but this was the only item that had been left.
Before you ask your question, sir, just, we were notified today that the underwriters accepted our insurance claims.
Really? Great.
Officially.
The underwriters accepted our claims.
Good. Continue. That's more important. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I received a call today, which a call we've been waiting on for a couple weeks now. Last week, I was asked to submit some answers to some questions that some of the carriers had sent to us. Obviously, we've talked about it. It feels like we've beaten a dead horse, right? But we've talked about this a lot, of the publicity, everything that's been going on. So the carriers were going back. Out of all 12 carriers, we had one carrier kind of pushing back a little bit. Well, that carrier kind of got in line with all the rest of the 11. So today we, off the record, right, I guess, that they've accepted the claim. That's the first big part, right? So now we're over that hump. And now, so the next thing is once we receive a proof of loss and that initial amount, then we'll work through the final amounts and kind of wheedle that, what we think we're owed based off the coverage type.
Right.
So, but that was a big hurdle for us that we got. It was accepted. All 12 carriers are in line, and so now we'll start that last process. But so I don't know what that initial amount will be. I would imagine a substantial amount based off the claim that we submitted. They have every single dollar that we spent in regards to the claim. Now, some of this extra stuff that Ms. Posada, like the wrapping, the extra painting, we cannot submit that in the initial claim. So that was extra expenditures, which is fine. But the original $600,000 as it relates to the reconstruction, even though we saved a little bit on the reconstruction part, I still submitted that as a $600,000 reconstruction part. So we'll work through that final stage, but that was a big relief to us that we finally got that call that it's been accepted. So we worked hard on that, obviously with Posada's team, us, responding to the carriers, getting stuff fast to them, responding to questions, giving them extra data. I know Mr. Posada's provided, they sent a building consultant down, they sent their own engineer down. We walked the campus with him multiple times. He provided a heat map as to the elevations, his own personal elevations, and so we did a lot of work to prove to the carriers that this is just one of those bad situations. The campus is very low, and that's hence why we got a lot of flood damage. So it's been accepted, which is the big hurdle.
It's a big positive thing, yes. We've been worried about that this whole time. Not worried, but just wanted it in writing. Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right, good. That's good. Mike, are we ready? Mike, you've been showing us, you say, the $50,000 savings, which is good. You're good at that. But where did it come from? Like, where did you save those $50,000 on the inside of the building, the remediation? Because I guess it's, originally, I don't know if you're saying that it was going to be $798 and you say 50, or it was $748 and you're saying 50 more?
$748, correct. What we ended up saving over the $600,000 that was authorized was in the millwork.
Right.
We actually had a bid higher when we went out for the bid or the emergency bid, and we were in negotiations. We got all the breakdown. We selected the contractor. If you recall, you authorized superintendent to select, negotiate, and enter into contract because we had very limited time. I think we had 8 weeks or 6.5, 7 weeks or so, and we had to get contracts. So one of the things that we did in negotiating with him is we took every line item, reviewed it with the contractor, SLR Builders and Contracting, and they came back with a credit off the top, $50,000. Now, it wasn't just a credit because out of the goodness. A lot of it was the negotiation, but we were able to salvage a lot of the millwork that was existing, that was that we could take apart. But it wasn't just because of a money thing, it was because of a timing thing. So we did look to find ways to save some money, but also save on time. So reconstructing some of those items, that millwork that had been purchased separately after the campus, those things were modular. We could actually cut out the bottom without the areas that were affected and reconstruct those. That saved us a lot of time and it saved us a lot of money. That's where we got the $50,000 savings.
We've had so many meetings. I think you had already told us that. So
Yes, sir.
I think you had kind of mentioned that to us. Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
That's important. Your fees are where, Mr. Posadas? Where are your fees in this whole thing? I don't see anything.
I'm not sure if they're here, let me see.
'Cause you're
I
the
think my
project
fee was
manager.
95,000 total.
What was that? I'm
The
sorry?
95,000 total.
Those are your fees. So in the end, I've been asking the superintendent just for those, so we can know what we're gonna try to get back, what we have to do for budgetary reasons, not to pick on anybody, but numbers of where, because at the beginning, I mean, this is fantastic. This was like a miracle, yo. At the beginning, when me and Mario walked in there and several people, and a lot of us, this was like, almost like a nightmare. So, thank God we're here. It's been a lot of work. But we need to have those final numbers so we can know where we're at, just so what you did, because you earned every penny of that. I mean, we got it done on time. Even the cleaners, there were some questions there, but we put them on pressure. They had a deadline, so you could go in and work. So there was a lot of pressure at the beginning to get things done. We were like in emergency mode, because that's what it was. So just for those reasons, just so we can know where we're at, and also help us know what we're gonna ask for and what we can ask for, and all that. Yeah.
Submitted. The only thing that we didn't submit is the extra painting, the floor wraps, the repair, and the library wraps. But everything in the reconstruction, Mr. Posada's fee, all the cleaning, everything has been.
They said they accept. That is fantastic.
So we don't know if they're going to accept the full amount because they're going to start nitpicking some of the stuff that may not be covered.
Yeah.
Some is the testing, some of the cleanup that they were doing, maybe cleaning up the walls 4 feet that the protocol didn't require, stuff like that.
They love, they love to call it depreciation.
Yeah, so we'll work through that with it. But every dollar that we've spent as it relates to the reconstruction and the initial cleanup and all that stuff, I think it was like 1.4 something million.
Yeah.
We have submitted to the insurance carriers. They have that.
Good. So on that note, my only question, I'm sorry, Ms. Gonzalez, I've been asking Dr. Salinas, I think we're kind of missing, I just talked to Isael, I just want to know, I don't know how we did it, it's just been so much, like I said, but at the beginning, we also asked you to connect on an emergency status to the main drain line at another entrance for the city.
Yes, sir.
But I don't remember, maybe you did, I don't remember.
No, we haven't discussed it because of the insurance, but
We just don't know how much that
on
was.
Tuesday night, we're gonna do
Just,
everything.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
bring it to the whole board, just so
Yes.
we can have a closing.
I did get the information for that. My staff sent it to me right now. It's $164,000 is what we paid for.
To connect.
Getting the connection.
Okay.
The off-site connection over to the other line. We actually got 3 bids. The high bid was $311,000. We had another one for $145,000. We had one for $164,000. We went with the $164,000 because we ended up doing a bore instead of the alternate of a bore where we wouldn't affect the neighbors. If you recall, we had to go through some private property, some private easements that they agreed, the neighbors agreed, so long as we didn't cause too much mess.
Right.
And that's what the $15,000 variation, the contractor we used, $164,400 is what we ended up.
And now it sounds similar. I think you might have mentioned that, but it was fast. It was fast and furious at that time. So, just bring that to us, Doc, so
Yes,
we can
Tuesday night.
all get that information. Go ahead, Ms. Gonzalez. No,
that's separate and
That's
apart.
separate. That's
That's for a future project. A future project,
that's separate.
right. Right, for the future.
We do have it, it was on the agenda, it was posted as part of it, it's as part of the Canterbury, I was just going to give you a quick synopsis of what that was, if that's okay.
I think that's important that you do. It's part of this item because
Correct.
part of the problem was that elevation there. It's an issue no matter what, so it's important for the board, yeah.
Correct, so this is the campus right here. It's a little hard to tell, but on the right-hand side over here, if you can see my mouse moving, it's on the right-hand side, that's Canton Road. What we have elevation out there is about 103.7, and then we shared this at one of our facilities in the summer. We showed that the first building where you have the principal's office is at about 102.2. So that's 1 foot below, 1.5 feet, 1.3 feet lower than the street. That's one. And then the very next campus, we're showing it at 101.7, another foot below the first building. And then you go to the gym, we're at 101. So already 2.5 feet from the, approximately 2.5 feet from the street is the last building over here, the gym area. So one of the things we looked at when we were out there is, how do we resolve the problem? Now, we've protected the campus. What the occurrence we had before, we've sealed all the drains, we've plugged all the drains, we've made sure we didn't have, a similar type of event. But we did have even in our claim, is the water that came in from rising waters through the doors, things like that. We've addressed the roof stuff. We've got, the roof is being done right now or completed right now. But how do we keep the campus? Why is it the campus is aside from being low, we have no connections to the drainage. So I'm going to show you right here. This is the campus again. Canton Road is over here on the right-hand side. Here's the parking lot. This is the building that's 1 foot below, 1 foot below the street, then 1.5 foot, then 2.5 feet back here. We don't have a way, and we have a big ditch on the east side of this, but we have no connection to that ditch. So essentially, that ditch during rains, we have no access to it. That's actually bermed up between our campus and theirs. So we sit kind of in a hole, and then it goes up to their drive right around here, and then it goes in, and then there's a ditch. This is the county's, one of their county main drains that go through Edinburgh. There's actually two. They diverge just south of here. But in the last 5 years, we've had rains that have overtopped Canton Road, so that ditch gets really full.
It's part of the system that brings rain from all the way from Mission, McAllen.
Correct. It comes
through
from
all that
McAllen.
neighborhood, eventually Monte Cristo.
it
It's
takes
just a
about,
main vein.
Yeah, it's one of the main drains. Used to actually belong, in McAllen, it used to belong to the drainage district. It was taken over by the city of McAllen. The drainage district still has ownership and maintenance of it through Edinburgh, along the south, which goes just south of here, south of Canton, and then also goes north, diverges north. The problem is, and one of the solutions in working with the drainage district is they've been widening the ditch, right? We haven't been able, or this campus has not been able to take advantage of that because we have no connection to it, no straw into the ditch. So what we're recommending as part of this project is to put in some drain lines, these dark lines in here, go into the campus, put in some drains, and actually connect into the ditch at two locations. One right here, adjacent to the campus, so you get those quick rains where the water doesn't rise that quickly through the main drain. You get those quick drains, but it's a fast rain. You get the water off of you and into the ditch, right? We don't have that access right now, so we're proposing to do that for the small rains. But when it turns into a longer term rain, possibly hurricanes, those type of events where it keeps raining and the ditch rises and gets to an elevation that's too high, what we're proposing, and kind of the same strategy we're utilizing at Edinburgh North, is putting some backflow preventers so those straws don't bring the water back onto the campus. It'll shut.
Very important, because we've seen how that's already at the road.
When it goes the wrong way, yeah.
It's just scary, yeah.
So what happens is we shut, that would automatically shut through a backflow preventer, and then what would we do at that point? Well, we would control our own destiny by adding some detention in the back. So in this picture, and it was a quick picture, it's just a picture for now, we haven't completely analyzed it. We're looking at possibly adding some detention in the back. It's still we have a large area, about 2 acres, 2.5 acres in the back that can be utilized for on-site detention, can still be utilized, flattened. We can work with some other partners as well to save some money in building that, but it can still be utilized for an area for the kids to play, a flat area. Kind of the same strategy surrounding communities are doing with their regional detention facilities within school districts. We would be taking advantage of that. So that's one of the ideas that we're proposing. We've discussed that with management. So we think that's a strategy that would work at this campus, because we can't lift the school. We've got to find other ways, alternate places to put that water and protect ourselves.
So in between those hallways, it's almost level to the entrances to the building. So when water comes down, it just does whatever it wants. Unfortunately, some of it comes into the building.
Right.
So he's trying to send water out, that way. Is that going to be underground, or are you going to dig
Underground,
under and then go under, or what is?
Underground, put an inlet, put it underground, and run underground drainage system. Right now, the campus does utilize those areas. They've got their planting areas, or their nursery, or they do some things outside, some activities outside. So we want to preserve that, but we want to make sure that when it rains, it's not hindering us. We're also looking at trimming some of the trees there. You've got a lot of same issue. This is an older campus. We've got some of those trees that are high leaf. They shed a lot of leaves. So we would be looking at maybe doing some maintenance on those as well as part of the project. Do some trimming, keep it off the roof as well. We did observe during the summer that those drains were full. It's just oak trees, or those oak trees in particular, release a lot of leaves and plug up the drains. So
So maybe keep it the level that it is, because they use it, but maybe go down a foot, just because, no matter, sometimes the volume into the drain can only take so much. So it's like
Mm-hmm. Correct.
ponding, the same thing, just reduce it a little so the kids can still use the area instead of like 4 feet. It really needs like 4 or 5 feet.
Correct.
So that it can go out.
Yeah.
But you're in the middle, so as long as it's not level to the, the hallways, the
doors and
entrances,
the-
yeah,
yes, sir.
because you're talking about just inches and it comes in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll
So that's the plan at this point, to address that long-term,
And that's to go to the back.
to the back,
Drain.
to the north.
And is there, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Graham. And I don't know what they're called, but I've seen them because of the county. They're like rectangular and they're drains. They're those big metal drains and water just goes because it helps so that the roads don't get flooded. Is there any way in the low areas around the school to put that for the future, like what you're saying about adding to the back, to the drain, the drainage of putting those
maybe a
to
big-
help, you know what I'm saying, DJ?
She's saying bigger volume right there in that area.
The
Right,
type
that-
Cs, all of these little points are inlets, those same type that you're talking about, the type C
Yeah, they have
inlets.
little holes, they're the
The
big
grates.
metal ones, and that's just to help the drain.
Correct. That's what
Volume.
we're showing at every one of these nodes here.
Okay.
That's an inlet. So back here, we have 6, there's a 7th, 8th one, and then there's 3 right in here between these buildings
Gotcha, okay.
as well.
Good, good.
No, that's good.
So
That's
because
good.
the problem here is, again, we're so low that you get the flash floods or flash rains, it's too much volume for that short period. You can design it, it'll eventually go away, but it only takes, 5 minutes to get in the building and you have a problem, right?
Right.
So we're trying to figure out a way to make sure we get the water in there as quickly as we can, that there's enough volume to take that flash flood event.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. To some, this would look like, hey, you're putting too many inlets, but in our case,
Not there.
We need 'em.
We need to
We
know
need
our,
'em.
know our area, then there needs everything there.
correct.
Isael, do you have a cost estimate for this future project?
We think it's under 500,000 in our just rough estimate. We like I said, we haven't been tasked yet with the design, but it's under 500,000. Right now, when we go over north, we'll show you some of the ways that we were able to save on that project that I think would help us here.
And if I can ask one last question, your estimated of 500, do we have any partners that we might reach out to say, hey, like the drainage, it belongs to the drainage district, right? Maybe something there
We would try to adopt the same strategy we used on.
at North?
For the detention
Right?
pond, it's smaller, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they're helping us now. I don't see why they
Yeah.
wouldn't help us with that.
And it's adjacent to the drain ditch
right
that's
there,
maintained by
yeah.
the county, or the drainage district maintained and widened and constructed by them.
And of course, you're already way ahead of the game, but get with them to be able to enter, so we can drain
Correct.
through those interlocal. That's
Yes.
good. I think
We-
it's a very good idea, and
It is.
but you tell us when we can do it, right? When we can start, but definitely what's needed there.
Well, the first thing we need to explore is can the drainage district help us like they helped us at North? I mean, they're taking 50% of the cost at North.
Yeah, that'd be the
For
strategy.
a similar project.
For a similar, how big would that volume be? Is that big for them? Is that a
No,
day's?
this is relatively minor for
Right,
for
it's
them.
like a day's work for them, or 2 days.
It's probably a couple of weeks' worth of
The
work.
bulk of it, and then we'll refine it?
We would do the fine grading afterwards,
grading.
because that is one thing that on Edinburgh North that we negotiated with them. You do the heavy lifting, literally the heavy lifting with the dirt, and then we'll come in and fine grade it. That's one thing they didn't want to be responsible for, is making sure, all the little ruts and stuff. So part of our contract, which we're going to talk about tonight, that we're proposing to award, is to include that fine grading and seeding afterwards. So
Good. I don't have anything. I can talk forever, so anybody have here?
One last question before we go on. Sir, the insurance, why wouldn't they consider the testing, knowing that it was needed why wouldn't they include it in wanting to reimburse us? Did they feel it wasn't needed or what?
The testing was more for the E. coli and coliform, which is an excluded coverage
Oh,
on any commercial
Okay,
Insurance coverage, sewage backup is always excluded item.
okay.
So we're going to try to get as much as we can.
Yeah.
But I can assure you, I can tell you that not everything that was tested,
Yeah.
all the extra cleaning that was done is all going to be covered. Because
Okay.
but we're going to try. We're going to really
which is the
nitpick,
question.
but we're going to try.
Yeah,
You
okay.
mentioned that was a fine line that we were
It's-
having to work.
Was
The
it?
good thing is
Okay.
it went into this big bucket, what we were trying to get into. Because the other bucket would have been bad news.
Any further questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Posada. We will now move on to agenda item number 4, review and recommend action on request for proposal RFP 25-92, contracting construction services for Edinburgh North High School drainage improvements, and authorize administration to negotiate contract with the highest ranking contractor. Dr. Garza?
Yeah, we have Isael, again, gonna go over the drainage improvement plan, and then him and Joe Villarreal will review the bids, the way they came in, and the rankings.
So this is the Edinburgh North High School Drainage Improvement Project where we went out for bids. As you know, we're partnering with the Precinct 4 and also with Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. And also in another part is the City of Edinburgh as well with some of the fees that they're going to be waiving on the project. So what we bid is only the items that we're not having a contribution from them. We actually had a total of 5 bidders. This is a competitive seal proposal, so it's based on ranking.
Mr. Sahel, for the sake of the community, can you describe the work that we're going to do at North?
Let me see if okay, so for that, well, this is the campus right here. This is Edinburgh North. You can tell by the building, very unique building. And down on the south side here, on the bottom of the screen is Rogers, and here to the right of the screen is Business 281. So this project includes, what we are bidding right now is all the work that's going to be taking place along the driveways, where we're going to be raising the elevation of some of the driveways along the south side, creating high points at the driveways to keep the water off the street from coming onto the campus. Not only there, but also identified one up here on the north side at that main campus right by the PAC. The other part of the scope is adding some drain lines within the campus, subsurface drain lines. We're putting in inlets, same type of Type C inlets or Type CC inlets that we would put in there. Again, get the water from the roof into the drain inlets and then out through a pipe. And then that piping system would be taking out into these detention areas up here. We're proposing 2 detention areas, one of them as a base bid, which is what we're going to be recommending today, and then one was an alternate, which was the band practice field, which we're not going to recommend today, but I'll explain that in just a little bit when we get to that part of it. But part of the bid, but that's the one where we're going to have Precinct 4 and the Drainage District assist us with this rectangular blue area right in here. That's the one they're going to help us hauling away the material there, the coarse grading, if you will, an excavation. And then we're going to be extending a line off our campus out into the city's system. Right now, the city system connects down here, right here where it says, where it's green. We're going to provide a secondary outlet to another connection over here, this other green area that's not there right now. The section in yellow is a city drain system. So we're actually going to take a shortcut. We get the water onto our detention areas and also drain directly into the city before other parts of the city drain. So hopefully in some of those flash flood events, we can get to their system before it starts to back up first. So we're going to take a shortcut there. Also included in here is some detention areas around the campus, right adjacent to it. Again, trying to keep the water off the sidewalks, off the kids, and onto these detention areas. And we're also going to do some tree trimming and some tree removal. Again, some of those trees are too close, so they're a little too overgrown and have caused a lot of issues with plugging up of drains, plugging up of downspouts, things like that. So we've identified a few, not a lot, but a few that we're going to be working on removal. So today's bid, what I'll show you, if that's a good enough explanation, we received 5 bids and we ranked them. I was one of the committee members. We had some of the staff on the committee. The low bid came in with Synergy Development out of Edinburgh, Texas. Their base bid with contingency was $741,629. They were ranked number 1. The very next one after that would be the 5125 company. They came in at $772,000 with the contingency and base bid at 71.5 points. We had 76 points for Synergy, and then the second one was at 71.5. So it's worth mentioning, and then we have the other ones that are listed here. But it's worth mentioning that we're only recommending the base bid because we do believe the original design we had, we felt that just by adding that large rectangular area with the depth that we have, we think we can address all the issues. The bigger problem with the band area is that would take quite a bit more coordination with the campus. It would be disruptive in our opinion. We think we can handle most of the issues with that one rectangular, and it'd probably be better for us to try to schedule it in a summer when we don't have, the kids on campus. The proximity to the students for all the activities that go on, with baseball, with softball, with soccer, with band as well, everybody is affected because that particular portion of the campus is very much utilized as a practice field, not just for band, but for other activities around
everybody.
there. It would be disruptive, very disruptive during the school year.
I had some parents that were familiar with this, I guess from a previous presentation. They were pushing back. They don't want us to.
Just concerned.
mess
It
around
was
with
going to
that.
be a tight fit, that's for sure. Yeah, it's hard. Because they use it a lot. There's no other space there.
So we were looking at the benefit versus the risk, and in talking to superintendent and staff, we felt it would be prudent to do this one phase first. In the future, we could look at it, but not during a school year, in maybe a summer.
There's
if
some of
we
your
need to.
budget that you can use at Canterbury, right there.
So it's also worth noting, this one isn't in your packet, I kind of added it about 30 minutes before the meeting. I wanted to share with you what we've presented in the past because you might have the numbers in your head, but I wanted to re-summarize it for you. The total cost with alternates was $3,287,000, so $3.3 million. Edinburgh agreed to share the $237,000, but that's mainly to cover the fees that they would charge us at the landfill to take, some of the debris over there. Hidalgo County Precinct 4 and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1, worth noting, the estimate that they would relieve us of having to spend is about $1.4 million. When we remove the band area, it's about $394,000. We estimated that this portion, apples to apples comparison, what we're bidding versus what we estimated, just the same items, about $1.2 million, $1,261,000. So you can see, based on the spread, we're saving quite a bit. We're saving about $500,000 just with the low bid by itself. And it wasn't intentional that I said $500,000 on Canterbury with the savings here, but that is approximately the savings that we had here. So I think this, aside from, and we had quite a bit of participation, you will see one of the contractors was at $1.1 million for this improvement. So I always like to assure that our clients that we're not estimating in a way to make us look good by overestimating or underestimating. But yeah, we got the spread in there, and so that shows you we had some hungry contractors.
It was fairly tight, yeah, they were within
very,
reason, yeah.
Yeah, for the three low ones, it was within the right area.
And I think for a CSP, I think the difference on all the points was the price across the board on the evaluators, which is important on a competitive CO proposal.
Yes, sir. So our recommendation is to go with the low bid on base bid and contingency only at $741,000. That's correct. We put a contingency in there more because we don't like to have extra money, but but in unforeseen, we needed sometimes we have to move quickly, especially when we're partnering with someone else. If we have to do something because the county needs us to get out of the way or do something, we got to get our contractor to do something. We don't want to delay the county and say, oh, wait, let me go get a change order for our portion and you wait for us to do something. This allows us to work within the budget. So we established about $150,000 for things that may come up. This is an older campus. Once we start digging and we come across a water line that we didn't see, water line that's not identified, or a gas line or something, you know, we need to move quickly, that's the only time we would use that money. But we'd be looking to try to save that as well.
We're the owners of, and I mean, I have no objections to the recommendation, but just for information, who's the owner of Synergy? Did y'all get that information? And then Ms. Gonzalez and Ms. Garcia's point?
We have it.
Yeah, so we,
Is it right there? I didn't get that part. We walked in.
yeah, you also have that spreadsheet that shows the, each company that submitted a bid. And we added the owner, their address. We checked for if there was any litigation, prior experience with the district, and similar projects, and we listed them there just for your information so you can have it.
So this will be the first time they work with our district?
Right.
No, actually, Synergy
Well-
did our park at Brewster. If you recall, the Lynn San Manuel Park that we did out there, Synergy was our contractor for that. And over there, we had baseball fields, detention areas, drainage, you know, lights. I mean, so yeah, we've had experience. That was one of our projects with the school district. So we've had, and that was a good sized project.
They did the vision, they got the vision area for the Vision Academy out there by Lincoln. They did some work over there, but it was a different company, but the same owner.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
Good. Any, to Ms. Garcia's point, any litigation, y'all cross that bridge? Everything good?
Everything.
I didn't get to, hey, estaba saludando a todos, I didn't pay attention as when I walked in. Okay, we're good, no? Okay, that's all I have. We're good.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, we recommend to take it to full board on Tuesday.
Yes, do you have any other questions? No?
No, sir.
Then I would like to recommend that we bring this item for approval to the full board on Tuesday's board meeting. And I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
A second?
Oh, shit.
Yes. This is Evergreen, I think.
No, we can look for,
Yes, this is an agenda item for the board, yeah.
if we can recoup some savings, we can look at Canterbury for a separate facilities meeting.
Yeah.
On this one, though, I will just add a small point. The way the item is written is the way we were recommending that we put on the board as well, which includes allowing this, giving the superintendent authorization to, because it's a CSP, it's like a three-step process. We wanted to see to expedite that because we are on a time crunch with drainage district to work during the November months, the October-November months, to allow superintendent to award, negotiate, and execute contracts to expedite. That's just a request if we could.
At a conference, I ran into the director and I thanked him. And so, but he said that, so there was some timelines. I think they're thinking of November, so just get with them and make sure.
Correct.
Because of school scheduling.
Correct.
that We're all on the same page.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Good idea.
Okay, so I do have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, all those opposed, same sign. We have a motion to go ahead and recommend this for as an action agenda item for next week's board meeting on Tuesday. Thank you very much, Ms. Posada, for that. Item number 5, update on Canterbury Elementary School and Cavazos Elementary School roof improvements presented by CG5 Architect LLC. Dr. Garza?
Yes, we have Charlie Garcia from CG5 Architect to present on this item.
Good afternoon, good evening, Board President, Mr. Lieutenant, board members. Thank you again for allowing me to come and update on the projects here, important projects at Canterbury and Cavazos. Canterbury, I just want to piggyback on the improvements that have been going on inside. You know, we were tasked with the improvements going on the outside of the building, getting it, of course, the effects of the water intrusion and all that. So I know the contract, speaking with the contractor, we had our last OAC meeting this past week. They're about 80% complete, which is they're accelerated on this project to they're watertight right now on the roof, and they're about 80% complete on the project. They're way ahead of schedule on it. Their substantial completion date is in December 6th, but you know, they're moving quite fast on this one at Canterbury, because I know this was a priority for the district, and so we're able to achieve that timeline for Canterbury. And then jumping over to Cavazos, we're about 30 to 35% complete. That one's a little bit more on schedule as per the timeline. Again, that's the substantial completion on that one is in December as well. These two schools are running concurrently on the timeline. Of course, Canterbury was a little bit more priority with the contractor, but Cavazos isn't far behind. Right on time. There haven't been any change orders, any really issues with the projects. That's the way these projects are going, and we anticipate them completing on time as well. That's where these two projects are at. Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions?
I just have a statement or something to look into. I know on one of the walkthroughs with Mr. Posadas' staff, in the walkway from the main building towards the gym, you mentioned, or maybe you, Isael, there's been so many meetings that they were gonna make sure they go a little bit higher on the roofing type up there because of the water that might come in. On the vertical walls. Remember? Yeah. There you go.
In negotiations with Dr. Salinas, they agreed to above that corridor where there's a metal roof, not only put the roof, but also put the walls.
The walls.
So it was continuous. There won't be a flat sheet, where you get
Or a gap, the water runs.
continuous, a spray on that area. So that was one thing that SLR offered.
Okay.
To make it not only watertight on the roof, but watertight on the walls as it connects to other roofs at different elevations.
We'll just kind of make sure that that's a good idea. That's why.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that that's in there, yeah.
Yeah, originally we were trying to meet a certain budget. We didn't have it in there, but I know this contractor was, in negotiations, bringing it to our attention. We agreed. We thought it was a no-brainer to go ahead and do it. So we included it.
Because of the elevation, any water intrusion becomes a problem, especially by
For
the
sure.
gym. So that's why. That's right in front of the gym, from what I recall, right? So, okay.
Yeah, we had no objections to that.
Also,
to
on
that
these roof projects, they came in at $250,000 under budget. So we agreed to use $200,000 for that amount to add a 5-foot concrete apron all around the multipurpose rooms, in addition to 1,000 feet of square feet of storage for all four of the multipurpose room.
At Canterbury?
No, the
Oh, at the okay.
the multipurpose wrestling rooms.
Okay.
To add a 5 feet concrete apron all around the multipurpose room. The coaches wanted that. They wanted an additional 1,000 square feet of storage, so we took the $200,000 from the savings of these roof projects and added it to that project to
That's
do that
good.
extra work.
That's good.
You all understand what he's saying? The ones that are being built at the high
Yes.
school. It's because when we did a walkthrough
Yes.
to go see what needs were and all this, we have a lot of equipment out it's being weathered, and they're just complaining, and mats and just expensive equipment that we have, nowhere to put it. So they want to be able to store it
That's
at
good.
all the high schools,
Yeah,
which is a big need, so.
good, good.
Good.
Right, Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, agenda item number 6, update on Nuremberg North High School bleacher replacement project. Dr. Garza?
We have an update from our facilities department. I don't know if Lalo or Joe are going to present on this. It's just an update just to show you a completed project.
Looks real nice.
It's real
I know
nice.
they're hopefully excited and happy. It's been 10, 15 years, yeah. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's off topic, but maybe just later talk to us about the lighting. That was a big issue too.
Yeah, that's something that we're gonna have to budget. That's a little bit more expensive, but they definitely need lighting.
It's very
The
dim
main
in here,
gym.
but this is a good start, yeah.
Very nice.
But the other high schools needed to. Vela's the only one that has adequate lighting at this point.
I think Denver High needs it too, from what we saw when we did that walkthrough. And economics, yeah.
Raymond, were you going to talk to this one?
Yeah, so this was a summer project that was done. Contractor completed this right before the start of the new school year. It was the Friday before. They did the owner training actually today, this afternoon, with the coaching staff, principal, and some of his staff also. So they should be trained as how to use the new bleachers. They did inquire about the south side, so that's something to consider, looking for the future. But they really did like the product, the end product, especially the logo, a specialized logo. It came out real nice.
It did.
And our vendor was Specialty Supply and Installation, and the cost was $191,000, as you can see there on the information. And it holds approximately a little bit under 900 seating, as you can see there. So everything turned out well. The school really liked it, and they liked it so much that they were asking about the south side. So.
What about the rest of it?
Ask him, lights or south side?
Great job.
Lights or south side? You gotta pick.
One step at a time.
Great job, though.
Very good. Any questions regarding this?
No, sir.
Okay, moving on. Agenda item number 7, update on fixed assets bathroom improvements. Dr. Garza?
This is our maintenance department. Julie Perez, Director of Maintenance, will present on that one.
Hello. So we've finished the fixed assets bathroom improvements on August 15th, and the project costs roughly around $35,000. That includes the ADA ramp as well, and we also added the parking lot. We repainted the parking lot, added the parking lot spaces for handicap spaces. So it's a complete project, and it looks great. The partitions are wonderful as well. Added some mirrors for the ladies and men. Everything is complete.
So, Ms. Perez, for the record,
Yes.
is it safe to say that our employees that were here before can now revert back to
Absolutely.
their original
Yes.
structure?
And they were told that day. I think we finished the Thursday before, but they were told on Friday.
Okay, thank you.
This was Friday?
No, the 15th,
The 15th. Okay.
August 15th.
Is the flow good? It's a septic system. We're good?
Yes,
'Cause
we
it
haven't
works
gotten any
It works on drain
complaints.
lines, and
We-
its drain line's been there like who knows how long. So, but if it's working, it's working.
Everything is working properly.
It flushes
We
well,
haven't had
pressure.
any issues since
Okay.
that.
Very important because it's
Great.
just old system, yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
The way it is, yeah.
It looks very, very nice.
The guys did a great job.
Yes.
Any questions?
No, sir.
No? All right. Moving on, agenda item number 8, update on De La Viña Elementary School bathroom improvements. Dr. Garza?
Julie again, and this is a project that was overlooked for a long time, was to add extra stalls for the boys' bathrooms. They've had one bathroom for the whole side of the school for a long time, or one stall. So Julie, go ahead and go over that one.
Yes, we added some, and we also had to make it ADA compliant as well. So we couldn't add as many as we would have liked to in that area, but we did make it ADA compliant and up to date. We added new partitions, new fixtures, new light fixtures as well in the girls' bathroom too, the lights. So that ran us around $10,000. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
It's not on here, but another old school that now that I have our attention here is Barrientos. I've gotten some calls about bathrooms and maybe not enough, because, I mean, it's been around since 72, so I don't know about square footage or amount of bathrooms, or just something, doctor, to look into, and it's an old school. It's Barrientos now, but it's an old school, where I went to junior high, so, I don't know.
We've had those concerns for
It's been something we need to just start planning for, long range, whatever, but planning.
Yeah. And if I may add, one more area is the mechanic shop. Where are we at with that? If I may.
We're on it. Julie, you want to give
I
us
can
an
give a
update?
quick update on that.
Please do.
We have been testing, before I got the approval from Dr. Garza, we tested, and it just did test positive for asbestos, so we are in the process of getting that abated. And the guys are preparing for their material as well, and we have 2 different floor plans, but we've already narrowed it down to the one that we're going to go with.
Okay, and it's just going to be the men's that's
Yes.
going to be repaired?
Yes.
And the woman's is going to be left as a storage? Or what?
No, we're gonna open that
You're gonna
whole
open it
area
for the men.
to make it ADA compliant, because a lot of
Okay.
these areas aren't ADA compliant.
Okay.
So when we're trying to renovate them now, we're trying to come up to code.
Yeah, because they were from the ancient days. I think from that building was first made for the mechanics. It's horrible, horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any further questions? All
No.
right. No further questions? Okay, well, that brings us to number 9, adjournment.
So,
So move, second.
Second.
We got a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. All right, this meeting is adjourned. The time is 5:50.